For you personally, you've watched cricket for a long time, a lot of World Cups. This one was probably a dampener for you too. But what was the turning point?
Amitabh, I have to say right at the start was the turning point. You know, Brendan McCullum made all the right noises before the final, saying that no matter what Aussies throw at them, they're going to play their aggressive brand of cricket. It's the first 3 balls which actually set the tempo for the game. He went for 2 shots, rash trot, didn't even connect the ball. 3rd ball, he was bowled. He was the captain, he was the front man. Once they got him out in that first ball, I think from there on, Australia just dominated the play. And I think it would have sent a bad message to the dressing room as well. I mean, the captain was all they were pinning their hopes on, and that's the kind of shot that he plays. It all changed from there. No chance. I'd have to say that it's a close call between 1999 World Cup final and this one as to which one was the worst World Cup final. I think it's a close call. You could pick anyone. Either 1999 Pakistan versus Australia, that was very one-sided, and this one again Australia versus New Zealand.
All right. While we were talking to the fans out here, you were inside watching a little bit of a victory lap, I suppose, and also a lot of celebration out there. I don't know why the Indian dhol is playing, but maybe you can explain to me what's happening.
Yeah, you'd be surprised that so 93,000 fans. In fact, that is a record for any cricket game in Australia. Maximum attendance.
Anywhere in the world?
Should be, but recorded. I would say Eden Gardens may have crossed it, but then a lot of times Eden Garden didn't have seating capacity. A lot of people would stand. But yeah, recorded 93,000 anywhere in the world, you'd have to say. The dhol that you hear is those Indian fans who had bought the tickets expecting India to be. So they're still celebrating, but the funny thing was to see the Indian dhol and the Australian fans dancing to it. As far as the atmosphere is concerned, it wasn't as noisy as the game that India played against South Africa. That was close to 90,000 fans too. That was far more noisy, especially because Indian fans were there. Not noisy, but I'd have to say, even as a neutral, when the winning runs were hit and when they did the lap of honour, the Australian team, it was still a goosebump moment for any cricket fan, because it's the World Cup. The way the Australians celebrated, Steve Smith and all came around, and the entire stadium, 90,000 odd people, gave them a standing ovation. So it was a goosebump moment, and the fireworks may have started late, but it's going to carry on for a long time, I suppose.
The other thing that we must obviously talk about, we can't stop our talk without talking about that. Michael Clarke, what a stage for him to go out, the World Cup final, and he makes the most of it. And his captaincy, which is something that is more or less unseen by most. Can you explain to us how that has made such a difference in this World Cup? Because we know MS Dhoni to be probably the best captain in the world, but Michael Clarke is no less.
Yeah, and you know why he also stands out is because of a lot of pressure on him. Many said that he doesn't deserve a place in the ODI team, especially after he was injured. He was asked this question that, leading the side and not being there, and he said that he had to tell the media that, look at my record, I've played so many World Cups, look at my record, I've done well. So he had to prove himself. So there was an extra motivation for them. The way he performed, one would have hoped that he was not out till the end. He got dismissed right before the end. Shane Watson came in. In fact, the crowd so wanted him that they booed their own player. When Watson walked out, the crowd booed because they really wanted Michael Clarke to finish it. Then once he was out, walking out, he got a standing ovation to have won the World Cup. And he mentioned past captains who've done it, and he always said that he wanted to do it the same way. Announced before the game that this was his last game, so he gave it all, and the team, supported him. The best thing, he got out, there were just about 7-8 runs remaining. He went there, and usually you take time, the batsman takes time to take off his pad, take a shot, then come back. He didn't do that. He was right there at the boundary because he wanted to be there for the winning moment.
Well, there you have it, and it's likely that, Akash, that even though Michael Clarke was not there for the winning runs, it's kind of fitting that the next man who probably will lead Australia, Steve Smith, was there right till the end, and that is just befitting for Australia after having won the World Cup for the 5th time. It's kind of getting tired for us.